Hey, here we are. Welcome to the check-in. What is this, number 22? Is that right?
I have no idea.
I think it's 22.
You
I have
put
it in the title.
22. Is that true?
It's 22. Yeah, that's
If it's in the title, you can see it.
Yeah, I just now found it. Yep, there it is. Hey, it's early. It's really not that early for me. I'm always up hours before.
It's early for me.
Yeah. So this is the monthly show where we talk about my FOMO list and other stuff. Before I bring that out, I like to, like the day before, right? Before I make the screenshots, I like to go through and try to do a Google search and update all my on sale dates. Try to get them as accurate as I can, right? But this time I hit one title and I got so many different answers. I went down a rabbit hole, no pun intended. But so that made me create a whole new segment, one I like to call, when the hell is this coming out? So when the hell is this coming out, Kristan?
How would I know?
You can't tell me, can you? This is the Buddy Bass hardcover that collects the first two trades, I guess. So here's what I found out. I took screenshots, right? Aftershock, the publisher, they say it already came out last November. Obviously, it did not. Now,
Right.
would you think that the publisher would update their own friggin' site?
Well, they were going through like some money issues at some point, so I actually didn't expect them to maybe recover.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they had to, fire their web guy.
That could be. So William Lee is here,
Hey, William.
and
Thanks, William.
he's proclaiming that Kristan is always right. But could it be that Kristan is often right?
Yeah, I think that's really rude. It's a rude hashtag. Don't appreciate it.
Hey, James.
Hey, James.
And Chris is here.
Hello, Chris.
All right. So I kept looking, right? And OPB, they give you two different answers. They say it's coming out on May 1st, but it also already came out back in November. If you look at the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen, you get two different answers. You see it?
Well, no one can see all that. At least I can't.
Well, that's why I put the white text over here, but just in case, Okay, previews, get this. They say it's coming out next December. What?
I think that's one of those stock dates when it's been pushed around and there's no set date yet.
And so they're just going, I don't know.
They're going, we want to keep this listing up, but they're going to have to solicit it again, probably.
Nick is here. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Okay, so I kept going. Things from Another World also has that date.
It's probably a stock date.
CGN, they claim it's coming out at the end of the month. Okay. Do you get my joke now? I went down the rabbit hole looking for the bunny mask. Didn't find it. Now, DCBS says, hey, bud, it already came out and you missed it. Terry's here.
Hello.
Hey, Terry.
That was surely just an old solicit date.
Yeah. Mark Spector, or am I Jake Lockley, says, oh, this just started. Perfect timing to watch while I eat my pizza then. Wow, what time is it there? You're eating pizza. News Pooey, I woke up this morning feeling a little like death, but there's a new live stream here, so I'm coming in. And we're glad to have you.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah. Okay, so, I guess that was all of them. So what are we going to say? We don't know when this is coming.
You don't know yet. It probably has to be resolicited.
Yeah. So I just left in what I'm sure is incorrect date on my list because I couldn't find an answer. Nick says, Larry, I finally got my first gallery editions yesterday. You sold me on them. Jeff Loeb, Tip Sales, Hulk Gray, and Daredevil Yellow. You're going to love them, man. They're awesome. Chris says pizza time is whenever you have it.
It's
Well,
true.
That's kind of true. He says he's from the future. Mark Spector says it's 15:35. So what is that? 3:35.
Yeah.
3:35. All right, let's just get in it then.
I'm surprised you could convert that military time.
Well, it's because of work. That's what they run at work.
I was gonna say, like, my my last job, that's all we use. So
yeah, the system at work, it's all military time, and yeah, I've seen it enough times to print out on my little screen that I started kind of getting it. I didn't really try it, just So, okay, here we go. So what time? When do I have it? I have it as 5:14. I don't think that was any of those, was it?
there was a 5 in there.
Yeah, there was a 5:1, but at one time it was 5:14, or I wouldn't have it listed that way. But
Okay.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Guess what? Who cares? Yeah. Because you have too much to read. It's not like you need to get it immediately. Does it matter?
Well, I only get it. No, I don't. I don't need to get it immediately, but I only get it immediately in fear that I won't be able to get it. That's the thing that drives it. That's what FOMO is all about.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that.
Yeah, that mentality.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that disease you have.
Well, as you can see, I am starting to lose that because you see that upper half of this screen is all stuff that's already out and I have not yet purchased. Right?
Okay.
But
you're still looking at this every month.
Well, I'm looking at it more than that, but we're looking at it once a month.
You're probably looking at it daily.
Not daily, but weekly.
Okay.
Sure.
Too much.
Yeah. Newsfeed says he's got to track down Spider-Man Blue, or telling Nick that. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think about your list like this, and I'm like, oh, the Omnibus is in the red tag sale. I'm just saying. Saying.
But, not everyone predicted that. I did not really think it was going to do that, but
I predicted that.
That's because you're
like they all go there to all the overstock, especially like 3 cover ones. I feel like they lay in there.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that when we get to the slide after these, because I got some. There's a bit of an IST mystery you're going to help me examine. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so like the Wolverine, I'm not going to get that this month because I can't afford to with my self-imposed budget. It's not going to happen because I'm going to get Micronauts, and that's going to take up, over half the budget. So I'll probably get. I'm thinking I'll probably get the Hulk Gray because it'll fit in the budget, right? And the Micronauts. And there's one other thing, which we'll get to after these two, that I'm going to add to this. It's only like $8, but you'll see.
So are you moving Wolverine to next month then? Because I feel like I feel like that's a priority for you. And a volume 5, as we know, has a smaller print run.
Well, that's why I've got it yellow there, because it's not quite in the clear. I think it's a little bit code yellow, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. News pieces. Wait, Wolverine comes out this week. Well, now I went down that rabbit hole trying to figure out the date on Bunny Mask, and I never actually made it down to the other titles to check their dates. So this may not be, up to date date.
I'll check it.
Okay, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Noir Wolf says good morning, all. Morning, Noir Wolf.
Are you just going to silently watch me? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
That's weird. You can
I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Yeah. What do you think?
Pronounce what? I'm not in the screen, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You can't see it, can you? Ada Deluxe. Hello from the Netherlands. Probably didn't get that right, but I tried. Took a shot. Hey, yeah, so that's I'm probably going to buy 3 books this month. And
I'm
it's probably
showing
going to be
May 15th.
May 15th. Well, that's even better, isn't it?
That's the solicit I'm seeing.
Cool. That's a good thing then. That gives me some more time.
Yep, you may
I
want to
don't
make a
know.
note.
Yeah, I will. Do you so what should I do with Bunny Mask? Should I move it to 00025? Probably put it on the next page when I update this.
Or keep it in May and then see if someone's like it's been resolicited and you can get a date.
Yeah. Space Monkey says hello from Sweden. Bunny Mask. Sell me on that one. Kristan, you want to do that?
You're
Sell
the
him
first
on Bunny
volume,
Mask.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you do that.
Well, you introduced me to it. You gave me it. Okay. Been a little while since I read it, but it's a very strange mystery where, well, how do you describe it, Kristan? This guy keeps seeing a female in a bunny mask.
Okay, no. So the whole thing starts. Yeah, I shouldn't let you do that. The whole thing starts
Go ahead.
out.
Right.
It's not a spoiler because it starts with it. There is a not okay father with his child, this little girl, and he kind of locks her in a cave with another person who he kind of kidnaps, right? And they're locked in there. They got to figure out how to survive and live. And this
We don't know all that right at the beginning, right? I mean,
yeah, this person in a bunny mask ultimately saves them. Then we have a big time skip, and the girl's grown up, and the guy sees her, and it goes from there because he starts like hearing things, and he starts kind of going, thinks he's going crazy. And
it's very trippy, and it's kind of a thriller. It's kind of a horror a little bit. It's yeah, it's really weird. It kind of, as far
it's like
as
a psychological thriller.
Yep, yeah. It reminds me a little bit of like it makes me think of Jacob's Ladder, if you've ever seen that movie. And maybe I don't know, what's the movie with the bunny? Really great cult
Donnie
film.
Darko?
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of that too. Kind of mix those together and then add a bunch of new stuff. Yeah. William Lee said, I'm not using the right hashtag.
That's right.
Hey. News Police says, May 15th works. That gives me 5 more ways to sell more kidneys on the black market and make some. Yes.
Keep those kidneys, man.
Yeah. Booster Green says, uh-oh, the spreadsheet is pulled out. This is a good way to visually see what awaits you and prepare. Sorry, I'm a little late. Are you planning on getting these or some of these FOMOs? Well, I'm going to get them, but I have a self-imposed budget of about $150 a month. So I can't get these as they come out. There's too many. And if you're new to this, all the ones at the top of the screen without a date, those have already been released, and I have not yet purchased them. They're just there so I can, not forget about them. Newspeak says, Bunny Mask seems like it could have been a good release for Easter. Yeah, Dark Easter. Booster Green says, I'm trying my hardest to slow down and really get what I truly want. I'm a little jealous you're selling so much off Omnicap. Yeah, Space Monkey, thanks. Jacob's Ladder and Donnie Darko is great. Yeah, for sure. It doesn't really mimic those plots, but that kind of vibe and that atmosphere is what brings it up for me. There was a creepy Easter Bunny in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey as well. It's been so long since I've seen that, I can't remember. Norval says, I'm old enough to have seen Jacob's Ladder in the theater. It was trippy. Yeah, it was. I'm old enough too, but I didn't see it till VHS, I think. But all right, so let's go to page 2. Yeah, there's a lot of more reasonably priced stuff here, I guess. That's about half and half, isn't it?
So you need to start like highlighting what's new on your list from last time, because I don't know. Well,
as we get deeper into the time, a whole lot of that is new, of course, because I'm all the way into next year here now. I've got a couple for next year. I added the Swamp Thing by Miller and Hester Omni. I decided I needed that.
You know, I met Phil Hester.
I did too.
I had a burrito with Phil Hester.
I did not do that, but I did get his autograph. So, and
Nice.
I got a picture of him. Nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I like him. Let's see. I can name some of the new ones for you. Maybe. Scalped. I decided I want that. So that's happening.
Yeah, you should take that off.
You don't think I need that?
You don't need that.
And that Batman Bruce Wayne Murder Turned Fugitive Omni. I've read, I don't know, 5 or 10 issues of that, and I really liked it. And some of it's by Brubaker, and there's some, who's the other guy? Greg Rucka, I think, is in there.
Is it all like crime stuff then?
Yeah, it's Batman, but it's where he gets, I really can't remember much of the plot, but I know he gets accused of murder, and then he's a fugitive for a while. He's on the run and stuff, and people think
that sounds kind of neat.
Yeah, it's cool. Let's see. Oh, that budget's a great idea. 150 is a bit rough though. Stay strong. Yeah, because you buy one Omni, and now your budget is blown in half easily, even at discount. Okay, what differentiates the yellow and orange markers? Well, okay, it's yellow means there's a little bit of fear of losing it. Or orange is it's a stronger, greater fear, and red is, oh my God, it's gone, or it could leave. So it's that's the scale from oh crap to oh shit, basically. So yeah.
Okay, keep in mind, this wouldn't be a FOMO list if we don't take something off. And I'm voting Scalped right now, but keep going.
Okay. Well, what's your case on Scalped? Have you read any of it?
Do you want me to get into it?
Yeah.
It's more about the content and the people behind it.
Jason Aaron?
Yes.
I didn't know. Did something happen with him?
Yep. But also, a lot of people say there's a lot of questionable content in Scalped due to the content it is. I have no interest in reading it. I just think it's not worth your money from what I've heard. Have I read it? Absolutely not. I don't want to.
Okay, well, you make a strong case, and it is money and a line on this fat list. So, yeah, okay. Marvel says, Larry, sorry if I missed a video, but have you done a tour of the library lately? I'd be interested in seeing the current state of the shelves. I have not, but I've had people asking about it, and I think I'm going to do a new one this year for sure. Yeah, because now I've got better equipment, and I've kind of halfway learned what I'm doing, so I think I could do a lot better video now. And that was one of the very first videos I ever did, so it's kind of rough, So yeah, even if the room hasn't really changed a lot, I could do a lot better video of it. So do you think that's a good enough reason to make a new one, Kristan?
Yeah, because I remember you kind of zooming through it all.
Yeah. It'll definitely be much longer.
Yeah, you could take your time with stuff more, which I think people like to see.
And it'll be better shot, and you'll be able to actually see the stuff better too. So
maybe I should do a tour after I get rid of a lot of this.
Yeah, it'll be good. Booster Green says Scalped is very intense. Yeah.
Heard that.
Gary Redmond said, sadly, that making of a sorcerer was delayed. Again, just got the email from Amazon late August now. Oh. See, I have the original Prestige edition comic books of that. I think it's a 4-issue mini. I mean, just absolutely stunning art by Simonson. Gore's here. Good morning, Kristan. Larry.
Hey, Gore.
Morning, Gore.
Are you making notes of all these date changes?
Well, I'm going to go through the whole list.
Okay.
I was going to do it last night, but I got delayed with Bunny Mask, and then I started making slides of it. So I just, I'll go through the whole thing. But I've kind of noted there's a few that are definitely wrong. But you know what? I like these delays these delays just help me out here, you know.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it should only be good news for you.
Yeah, so I'll probably remove Scalped, and I think there was one other maybe, and then I got a whole bunch of dates to update. But I think you would like that Batman Bruce Wayne Murder Fugitive.
It sounds cool. I want to read it now.
Do you remember the DC 5-cent covers they did, the promos they did for a little bit? They were 5 or 10 cents.
No.
Well, one of those was Batman Fugitive, and that's how I started reading it because I picked up that, loss leader thing they had going. Let's see. Blue Screen says I've been collecting the IDW Godzilla stuff. Is the early Marvel run silliness? There is quite a bit of silliness in there, but it's really fun silliness. Giant monsters. You got heroes from the Marvel universe interacting with them. Dum Dum Dugan of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dum Dum and Nick at times are all chasing after him with the helicarrier, and it's fun. It really is. But it's not like dark. Go ahead.
Is that the one that was on your top 10 video that you showed with the red background?
Yeah.
So we watched that, and Reed was like, "I need that," because he loved that video so much, and he's like, "If it's all silliness like this, I need it."
Yes, it really is. It's not dark and gritty Godzilla, not at all. So if that's what you're after, you're not going to get it there. But there's a little boy that befriends Godzilla, and he's trying to keep S.H.I.E.L.D. and the army from killing him, or he's saying, hey, this is not really a bad guy, it's great. It's great. Booster's on the fence with that one. How's the Mark Miller era of Swamp Thing? It's really well regarded. I haven't read any of it, but I like a lot of Miller. I don't like all Miller, but I like a lot of his stuff. And Phil Hester does the art. And he's a little cartoony, but the samples I've seen of it seems to work, And I think this is really early Phil Hester. But people seem to really like that run. News Please says, I believe the Marvel Essentials Godzilla volume was the holy grail of Essentials. Guess that it's going to change soon. Yeah, and were those in color?
Weren't those the coloring books they came out with? That's what we would call them, right?
Yeah. At first they were black and white, but I think they released some later that were colored. I don't know. So one thing I wanted to ask you about, Kristan, was wait a minute. Reed says, we met Phil Hester. He was a very nice man. Yeah, we mentioned that. I talked to him too, and I got his autograph, and I got a picture. Yeah, he seemed like a cool guy. Marwolf says, I remember watching Godzilla cartoons as a kid, had the Shogun scale figure too. Wish I still had that. Yeah, I did too. I had like an 18-inch Godzilla. It was really silly. He had wheels on his feet, so you could roll him around. And then for some reason, with inexplicable reason, his right fist had a little button. You could launch it, and it would fly through the air. Why?
That's weird.
I don't know. Yeah. But it looked really good, other than the stupid fist thing and the skate wheels. Gary Revan says, I assume Toho is not going to let Marvel keep Godzilla for long. Yeah, that would be my guess too. News please. The Essentials were giant black and white phone books. They were discontinued and replaced with the Epic collection. Okay, right. And then they were color. Yeah. That's the same Godzilla I had. Yep, I had that. I didn't have the 18-inch Shogun. I had the small metal Shoguns. They were pretty cool. I wish I still had those. Those are probably worth a fortune, I guess, and I could never replace them, could I? They were little metal. Yeah, I should look, but so this is a screenshot, which I'm sure is way too small, but just while we talk about it, we can have it here, of my wish list that I got on IST. This is all but one row. So on the next slide. Anyway, so there may be some people watching this that don't realize that if you add stuff to your wish list on IST, then even if it sells out, the listing will stay in your wish list so you can reference it, right? Which is very helpful because if you try to search for something on IST that's out of stock, it's impossible to find using their search. You can go to Google and sometimes get it to come up, but it's difficult.
It's funny you say it's helpful when I find it very annoying when I'm going through my wish list and half of it's gone. Yeah.
And so when there's a book I want to get, I put all the covers available on there because, sometimes one cover will sell out, even if it's my preferred cover. I'd rather have my non-preferred than not get it at all, right? So that's why some of these are doubled with different covers. William Lee says, that's exactly how I use the IST wish list. Yeah. And also, when a book goes on sale, even if it's red tag, you have it wish listed, it's still going to show you the updated price. So you don't have to go to the red tag list and then dig through it. Yeah, I've been that Thor Omnibus Volume 2, the Jason Aaron Volume 2.
No, don't confuse them.
Yeah, sorry. That thing has been $93 since day one. It's never dropped a penny. And I do not want to pay $93 for it.
Also, this is making me think, hold on, who's Scalped by? Is it Jason Aaron or Latour?
It's Jason Aaron.
Okay, I was thinking of Latour. So yeah, I don't know anything against Jason Aaron, just the content.
Okay, I didn't think so. I hadn't heard nothing. Though.
Well, but you don't hear a lot, so
it's true.
But yeah, that's my bad. That's a correction I'm making.
Okay.
Too many Jasons out there.
There is a lot of Jasons. Booster Green says, yep, that's the case for me too. Wait for Superman War World Saga. That's hard to say. To come back into stock. Yeah. Norwell says, Larry, at the risk of going down the toy rabbit hole, did you have any Micronauts figures? I did. I don't know what happened to them. I had a few random ones. I wondered if that nostalgia for those would warrant me getting that omnibus. Yes, if for no other reason, the first 12 issues has the most beautiful Michael Golden art you've ever seen, man. It is tremendous. James says, Store Volume 2 was in the red tag for a while. That is when I bought it. See, I totally missed that. It must have been there for 2 days. And that's what we're getting ready to get into is the red tag mystery. Elon says, happy Saturday. News piece says, I believe all but Volume 1 of Wolverine went red tag on IST. I pre-ordered Volume 3 from DCBS, and it was already 60% off on IST before I received my copy. Yeah, I don't pre-order anymore. I stopped doing that. Gore says, Latour worked with Aaron on Southern Bastards.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's where my confusion came in.
Okay. No DC finds for you. No, I try to hold out for hardcovers. I really do. Elon says, I got the DM for $60. Thanks for a heads up from James. Nice.
Oh, Elon's here. I have to say thank you so much for my fountain pen. He sent me a fountain pen for my birthday.
Awesome.
It was very unexpected. Thank you, Elon. That was awesome. I'm very excited to use it.
Very nice. Booster Green says, I saw you got Fear Agent cool covers on red tag. So jealous. I got lame covers for the usual discount. Yeah, and that is also leading into the great mystery we're about to get into here. Okay, but before we get into that, well, actually, that's part of it. You see the two Iron Fists here, two different covers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see part of one, but yeah.
Yeah, I have the logos over it. Elon says you're welcome.
You're the best.
Well, now that was on, let's see. I heard a meow.
Yeah, you want me to let her in?
Sure.
I'll let her in real quick. She's talking.
So Iron Fist was on red tag, and News Pooh, you mentioned that it was on red tag a week or so back. I grabbed the blue cover, right, and I was going to get it, but I had already made my order for let's see, March, and I was at my budget. I stayed within budget last week. I went over about 74 cents, but I'm not going to count anything less than $1, right? I'm going to count that as a win. But so I couldn't get it. And then it was off red tag. Now, in this case, the red tag was the blue cover. The bottom line here, first bottom level there, you see it? That was the one that was red tag. And now you see it's out of stock. See, there's no add to cart.
Yeah.
Now that's the classic way we've always seen the red tag sales work, right? They have something they have too many of, they put it on there till they run it out, and then that's it. That it's done. Well, that's not always happening.
No, I know that's not always happening. I've seen it not happen that way.
It doesn't make sense. It's weird.
I think it makes sense, but go on.
Okay. Hold on one second. Booster Green says, "Have we hit the budget for this month?" Well, I haven't placed any orders yet, but I already know 3 things I'm going to get that's going to that's going to max the budget. So you could say I have. Gore says, "Will either of you be getting my favorite thing is Monsters Volume 2?" I have not heard of that. Do you know what that is, Kristan?
Of course I know what that is. I can't believe you haven't heard of it.
Tell me.
I'm not going to get it, though. I didn't get Volume 1, but I plan to read both those from the library at some point.
Can you tell me about it? No?
No, because I haven't read it. I just know what it is because it's very acclaimed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that. News Piece says, "I think both covers were red tag, but the other cover sold out instantly for some reason. I think the blue cover is better, so I was happy to get it." Yeah, the blue cover is what I wanted too. But it could come back. These often do. Get to this is the final page.
Can you go back though? I have a question.
Yes.
So which one's the DM?
Let me go full screen. I could probably tell you. She's really rumbling.
Yeah. She's getting pets.
I think the DM would be the blue one. It doesn't say in just a little snippet here, but it has the full Marvel comic logo across the top, which probably means it's the DM. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, in that case, it won't come back probably. The DM. She's rubbing against the microphone, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. William Lee says, "I'm actually sad. I saw Volume 2. Aw. Wolverine on red tag, but didn't pull the trigger soon enough. Now it's in the regular discount." Yeah. So I don't know if you could see that, but see that there's 3 Umbrella Academy libraries there. And now the reason all 5 aren't on here is because I can't get them to come up. I could go outside to the Google search and probably get them to come up, but they're not in stock right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that middle one, I think it's let's see, what volume is that? Volume 3 is 80% off right now. So it's $7.99.
Yeah,
now I don't have the. Yeah, I think I'm going to get that this month, even though I don't have the other 3.
Okay, so wait, you don't have any of them?
No, I had the.
You want to buy them from me?
I did not know you had them.
Yes. Come on, man. In fact, I haven't opened any of them, so I'm just saying they're sitting there.
Oh well, we'll talk about that. That's probably going to happen then.
Okay. See, this is why you got to consult me before you buy things.
Yep. Yeah. News Police says, "Yeah, the blue is the DM." Been so many years since first of all, I almost gave up hope on follow-up. My favorite thing is Monsters is one of my most anticipated books of the year, says Rick Ray. Noir Wolf says, "Kristan, all cat distractions are welcome. Also hope you're on the mend." Yes.
Yeah, my foot's purple right now, but it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this mystery. So here's what happened to me with the Puff's here with his hay now.
There we go.
So here's what happened, and this is the mystery. I got Fear Agent Deluxes on red tag for 65% off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those were $22.99. And they were all on red tag. All 4, the 2 volumes, both covers, they were all red tag at one point. And so I ordered them straight away, like maybe the second day they were on red tag. And they immediately pulled Volume 2, but not Volume 1. And it sat there delayed for like 3 or 4 weeks. And while it was delayed for that 3 weeks, it sold out on the red tag. It was gone. Right. First, just the cover I wanted sold out. Then all of them sold out or something. I don't know. Right. So I emailed them and I gave them a couple of weeks before I emailed them because I don't want to bug them too much. I know they're busy. Right. And I say, "Hey, did you, is this?" I don't know what I said, but I said something to them. And during the time I emailed them before they replied, stock came back on that volume 2, but now it's removed from the red tag.
That makes sense to me.
And okay, so I should have took a screenshot of his reply, but the guy come back and he said, yeah, we had to order some more of that one, but it's in now, so your order is moved to the shipping queue. I said, okay, cool. So I ordered it when it was red tagged, like day 2 or something, pretty early on, right? They didn't fulfill it. They sold out of it. Then they ordered some more.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the purpose of the red tag? I thought it was they had too much stock of something, so
yeah, that still makes sense.
Okay,
they had
so
an
then why
abundance
order
of
more
stock
of it? Why order more?
because too many people ordered it. And they probably goofed the numbers. And then they were like, well, people are ordering these. Let's get some back in and just not get as many as we had. Because usually it's that first amount that they have to guesstimate how many people are going to buy this. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Okay. I thought it was wild, but Elon says, I think The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys is a better series by Gerard Way, only 2 hardcovers. Yeah, who does the art in that one, I wonder?
I have it.
Oh, you do?
Yep. Yeah, I can't reach it, but I have it.
News Pooey's playing the game here. He says, I keep holding off on that X-Men The Hidden Years. I was finally going to order it last night. Then I discovered Target is doing a buy 2, get 1 on books, and thus Amazon will select match some. Cool. Booster Green says, maybe red tag is a way to move a book. They have lots of quality. I think he means quantity, plus maybe a mix of making more warehouse space.
That's what I was saying. Absolutely.
Yeah. Huff says, it's a great day for comics live streams. Yes, it is, because we're going to get more Kristan later tonight. I'm sure she'll tell you about it shortly. And what Kristan said. It makes sense that Kristan is always right. Well, see, that's why I have her on here. She's an expert and she's knowledgeable.
You got to take back your hashtag.
Well, you're often right. You are often right. So yeah. So do you have all 5 volumes of that? Of Umbrella?
I have 3 volumes.
Okay. So should I get the purple from?
I think there are 5 volumes, unless you're counting Fabulous Killjoys, which is not part.
No, I wasn't counting that. Newspiece says, I sometimes wonder if they red tag items, clear them out at the IST warehouse, but then their DCBS warehouse needs to clear out stock, so they transfer some over there. It's totally possible since the same owners. I mean, who knows what's going on? Chris says there are 4. So once again, Kristan is correct. Becky Cloonan art on that Killjoy. I have to look that up. I'm not too familiar with her.
I like her.
What is this 5th volume? Tales from the Umbrella Academy Library Edition, volumes 1 through 3. Okay. That's my opinion, but the Umbrella looks like Death volume sucks. I've only read probably the contents of the first one.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I read like way back in the day. During the MCR hype,
Yeah.
The first go around.
Huff's got a full day. I was going to put you up big screen, but then I missed it when Buffy was on here.
Yeah, she's rubbing all over the microphone.
We hear it. So there's a thumbnail for, let's see. I think that's volume 4. Do that again. I'll put you up.
No, she's moving now.
She's gone. Oh, well, poop. Anyway, so what do you think? This is my series of thumbnails where I grimace in various ways, like the Hulk.
It makes me upset.
How come?
It's just
people
a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of Larry. A lot of Larry. Yeah. I thought it turned out really good, though. So here's my schedule, and that's what I've got already lined up. Ice Dragon for Monday. Then Peter David's Hulk Volume 3. Then Fairies of the Fault Line. Then the thumbnail I just showed you was Peter David's Hulk 4.
What's this fairy book? What's going on here?
It's kind of an art book mostly. It's really good. Beautiful art. It's not a comic book.
Can I send you the thumbnail for tonight and you can show it because Reed made it?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Or I think you can, can't you?
I don't know if I have the ability to share this. Do I?
Well, try it. If you don't, I'll do it.
Oh, hold on. I have to download it.
I'm not sure if the Killjoys are a spinoff. I think they might be a separate thing.
I think it's a separate thing.
Booster, are you talking about the Hulk or are you talking about Umbrella? Huff Dealey's asking Siri how much caffeine you can have before dying. News Larry, just what to smash. Right.
I'm able to share it. You just have to click on it. So once you're ready for that, it's in another window now.
All right, hold on 1 second. Boom.
Yep, that's tonight.
Awesome. Yep, I love it. That's a jam-packed panel right there.
Oh, and speaking of Mary's up in the chat now. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Mary. Awesome. So what time does that start Central Time? Is it 7 or 8?
7.
7.
Okay. 7 Central.
We're going to miss it. Well, you have to catch it on the replay.
Yeah, bummer.
But I'll watch it live and I'll get in the chat. Your mom will probably start watching it, then fall asleep, and then have to watch the rest tomorrow.
Per usual, right?
Right. That's the usual deal. Left Dealer says that's a dope thumbnail. Going to get 5-figure views easy. Yeah, probably.
I'll tell me said that. It is cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. News Police says thanks for the wonders of the internet. You can catch the stream again. That's right. So you don't like my Hulk thumbnails?
It's just a lot. Every time I see it, I'm like, this is a lot. I'm sure if, people out there don't have you as a dad, it feels different.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Huff says, Mary, you're going to be discussing Grant Breyfogle Batman tonight, right? Surely she would have to, right? I mean, it's a Batman. Although, the Batter Days thing is often not about Batman at all.
No.
Sometimes it is, but.
He didn't tell us a theme at all, so I doubt that's happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, I think I got one more thing. Let's see. So there's where Kristan is on YouTube and on Instagram. It's the same, yes? Yes.
Yep.
And Kristan, you want to tell them about that email address?
Yeah, that's Reed's email. Email him and tell him he's great. But also, we are selling more than 50% of this collection. So Reed has a spreadsheet. If you want to know what we're selling, if you're interested in anything in particular, email him, ask if we have it, or ask to see that spreadsheet. What?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just let people know. Also, right now the list is probably 99% the Marvel Omnis, but we are eventually going to go through some of the other indie deluxes and DC Omnis and all that. But just so people know,
the indie deluxes.
Well, yeah, we have a couple of them.
Yeah, we do.
But I don't know we haven't gone through all of those for sure to decide. So
that's a joke because nobody knows what an indie comic is. But all right.
The non-big two deluxes.
Right.
I still contend that if it's creator owned, it should count in the same sort of category as indie.
No.
And
I
actually,
wish
when I
Reed
say
could have
it-
heard you. He would have had a lot to say
Well,
about that.
well, let me clarify.
You say
When I say
indie.
it that I don't really mean that it's an indie, but I mean generally people say indie / creator owned, and they sort
People
of
do
put all
not
that.
say that. That is incorrect. No one
That's just
says
a Larry
indie
thing?
/
Is that a-
creator. So my dad is. I have to translate for Reed. He can hear you. My dad is saying
Okay.
that he contends that any creator owned should be under the indie category, and I'm like, that's not accurate.
Indie /
Reed's shaking his head. He's like,
It depends on the definition, but again, I will stand by. I don't know if any comic is independent, but creators can be independent. At this point in time, that's the only thing that I can probably stand by for sure.
Well, clarify for me, Kristan, that I'm not saying that a creator owned makes it indie, but I'm saying generally, I think it's a very broad group to say indie / creator owned. It basically means it's not a company owned character or property that has to be put back in its box when you're done with it.
yeah, there's just a meaning to the word, though. It's like Cycle in the chat is saying. People do say it, but it's just not correct. Which 1,000% agree. Cycle knows the definition.
Okay. Got to put that list in the description. Well, that's why I'm putting this here, but I can't add that email there. Yeah. Yes, bye Marvel. He's egging you on, Kristan.
Yeah. I'll probably keep like a few. That's it. Buffy, that's my hand, girl.
Newspeak says, you know, a comic is really independent when it's 2024 and it has no barcode on it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Newspeak said, you know, a comic is really independent when it's 2024 and it has no barcode on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fair.
It's the same thing as like almost like people indie music, like indie music became a genre. Indie rock is a genre rather than a definition, which is what it used to be. It was like independent rock was music made without the backing of a label, etc., which is how comics started with independent comics. But the same thing.
You want to jump on here? Because we have a little bit of time left, right, Dad? You want Reed to sit here? There's a seat. Well, and I can hook your mic up or your thing up.
Oh.
Hold on.
Should I do that?
Well, yeah, I'll mute it. So
Okay, I think I did it.
Yep.
All right.
Talk, Dad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Sorry. Wait, so what am I saying?
I don't know. You just had a lot to say, and I was done translating.
Oh.
Dude, there's a seat right by me. Why are you kneeling?
I'm too late.
All right.
I don't like being on that side.
Gore says, for the general comic reader here's indie, they think it's a non-DC or Marvel, no matter who is doing it.
100%.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, that's
Like,
a very old definition,
Mhm.
really.
Well, and that's like because like I was saying, just to finish my thought on like indie comics becoming a genre, there are people who view independent comics as like, oh, that's a genre, meaning it's not superhero. Non-superhero is independent comics.
But that's like incorrect.
That
I've
is
never
incorrect.
thought that.
That is incorrect, but that's the general assumption. The same way of like indie rock and like all of that, like those becoming genres. Like, oh, or what band are you listening? What comics do you like? Oh, I like independent comics. What does that mean? Like, does that mean?
When I say indie creator owned, I'm not saying they're one and the same. I'm saying I separate them from company owned
Then you have to
property.
stop saying indie.
Do what?
Then you have to stop saying indie.
I don't know if I don't know if you have to stop saying it.
Well, every time you say it, we're gonna roll our eyes. I just want
no,
you to
well,
know that.
it's a thing to where I don't think it's a generalization that's just become the norm, and that's what's hard. I mean, you go to any bookstore or any comic shop, and you see where people are like, what sections do they have? Marvel, DC, indie, miscellaneous. Like, and indie miscellaneous throws in.
How I have my shelves here.
throws in.
How I have my shelves here is I've got Marvel, DC, and other company owned all together because I don't have a lot of DC. I have some, and then this huge section that's really at least as big as that is all indie / creator owned. Okay, so that is stuff that is not company owned.
So is your Walking Dead an independent creator owned?
Yes.
Okay. See,
Because
well,
it is.
and I mean, technically, yes, it is creator owned,
Yeah.
but in the same way that like Marvel and DC is technically creator owned by that because
It was 40 years ago, maybe, when Stan Lee was. I mean,
well, sure, but so your Jack Kirby omnibus is not their Jack Kirby and Stan Lee omnibus is not in creator owned, right?
no, because
Exactly.
that company has legs beyond that. It's
as so does Skybound.
This is a great comic too,
Image.
though. An easy
It's
thing to
getting
know is
there.
that if it's a
Skybound's
top 5
getting
comic
there.
publisher, it's not indie.
Yep.
Image is the big 3. Like, they are the 3rd biggest.
Mm-hmm. Because and Image is now separate even more so because Robert Kirkman has Skybound,
which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to comment on the comment you brought up, but you didn't read about the Brave and the Boys recent haul video. That just makes me laugh. What, including an Archie hardcover? Come on now.
Yeah. No. Read.
Oh. Well, depends on which one. I would say the biggest punk rock comic that everyone needs to buy would be Hardcore Anxiety, and that's my first published book. That first published book came out in 2019. My journey through punk rock and mental health. It's great. That's the first time I've ever said that something I did is great. But yeah, no, that's out there. If you want to learn about horrible, weird, disgusting people, I did a book on G.G. Allen, which is also punk rock related. Summer Vacation is my newest book. That's punk rock related. Sad Religion.
Kind of all of it.
Everything. Yeah, all my comics
Most of it is punk rock related.
Gore likes your t-shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
As do I.
Reed did an amazing Violent Femmes gig poster. Can you still get them on your website?
You can still get my Violent Femmes gig poster. That's on my store. We
hand screen printed.
Hand screen printed. Spoke with Brian Ritchie about doing it before the concert, and then he was incredibly kind and invited both me and Kristan to go see them play in Nashville. Brought us backstage to meet him and talk with him about possibly doing a book together.
They were all really nice.
They were all super nice. I don't know if that book probably, all the ones we met were very nice. I don't think that book is going to happen, but they're going to get at least a feature in a future book from me, or that experience will be talked about.
Huff says there's people who view the universe as being 6,000 years old. We call those people stupid, Huff. That's what.
Well, I think that's his point.
Let's see.
That's true, Elon, and so does Reed.
Yeah,
Reed does a lot of those same things.
Yeah, me and Huff always.
I'm not. When I say that, I'm not saying they're the same. I'm saying and. I'm saying indie / creator.
No, when you say slash, that's not an and. There's meaning to punctuation.
And or / means and or. In most.
No, I thought
it doesn't.
I thought the slash between and or meant and or. not the slash.
Okay. Well, that's how I'm hearing it in my head. I'm saying indie and creator owned.
And again, I'm not like.
No one's critiquing you, Father.
No one's critiquing you for it, because it's the problem is it's become such the norm. What I get upset with is like literally people who take truly independent creators, like let's say, just to throw out some Huff names, Nate Garcia, Alex Graham,
your boy Jasper.
Yeah, Jasper Jubinville, or even that stabbed my arm with a nail.
Buffy. Let's not.
All right, honey. She really cares about indie comics. But you take those and you put them in the same category as Walking Dead.
Yes, you make a point about Skybound. I'm looking off camera here at my where I've got them all. And like the Walking Deads are all there, and then the 16 volumes of deluxes, and then right next to that I've got the one that called The Alien that Brian K. Vaughan wrote in that universe. So that is sort of leaning it to where this whole section might have to go over there.
Well, and then,
but it didn't start out that way. It didn't start. Image Comics started as an independent thing, but then also like what were all the Image first books? They were all superhero books.
They were all essentially like Wildcats is essentially a big 2-book just done
Now,
without
I don't
big
mean
2.
because it's Image. I mean because it's now
Part of
became
a universe. Well, but then also look at what Spawn, an independent comic book, but Todd hasn't like how many different creators have written an issue
Right.
of Spawn? How many different people?
But like 7 to Eternity. It's Remender. You know, it's creator owned.
I
He
love
hasn't let
his
me.
name. I love
say
it.
it 4 different ways.
You do. It's great. We never know which one we're gonna get.
Yes. Okay, you guys say it.
Remender.
Remender. Okay.
A walk
So
to
it's
Remender.
It's Remender. It's Remender.
Yeah.
Did I do it right? And he hasn't had anyone else write for that universe yet, and probably won't. But hey, who knows, right? So I don't know. It
just
could
have an Image section. I mean, that's
true. Like my favorite shops when we go to them have them separated not by publisher so much as by like I love it when they're separated by genre, and that's always interesting because I can zero in on stuff more, and also
Rick's is like that, right?
Yeah, Rick's is like that. One of our favorite.
Yeah, I don't
shops.
think I could do it just as an Image section because that doesn't work either because you've got to work like Fear Agent. That was Dark Horse, then it moved and was published somewhere else. And the same thing with
do you think Dark Horse stuff is independent?
No, I didn't say independent, but a bunch of it is created.
A lot of people think that.
I'm just asking.
No, not at all.
Just like technically, if we're going to talk about it, what's the biggest independent comic book of all time? It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and like I have Bendis' Scarlet Absolute. I have it over here. I don't have it in DC because Scarlet was originally published on Marvel's Icon, which was
okay. Well, this is a whole other
line.
Conversation, though, because like you should put it wherever your version is.
Yeah, no, how you collect your collection is up to you. I mean, me especially, like this annoys Kristan to death. I don't care. I will have big 2 books next to like the tiniest independent books. I don't have mine.
Oh, but you just don't even like.
I don't even care about organizing the shelf
stuff.
So like that doesn't matter to me. But
you're a heathen.
Yeah. So it's just that's whatever. The hard part is when like referring to like I got a little salty when Todd McFarlane when he did issue 300 of Spawn, which granted I will admit, it's a huge milestone, but also it's like, okay, good for you, Todd. Don't say that you're the only one who's built that book, like because you're not. Like you started it, yes, fantastic, but like the milestone of Eric Larson in Savage Dragon is way bigger. But anyway, it's all it's right to an extent, but
yeah, Huff, I don't like that either. I don't care for it. I'm not as hung up on it as you are, but I don't care for it. The would have.
Which is interesting because you have a lot of dialect that you use from this area that is not correct.
Not too many. I've deleted probably thousands before you were even born. I got rid of a lot of it.
You say was all the time instead of were. I'm just saying.
I say what?
Was instead of were all the time.
You talk about how you seen stuff.
Yeah. You seen stuff.
We just notice it. We're your biggest fans, Larry.
Yeah, we watch all your videos.
Watch all your videos.
So I'm just saying it's funny that you're gonna like judge someone for that, but you're like,
ooh, see, this is.
Well, I'm not judging them. I'm just saying I don't care for it.
No, this is an interesting point by Space Monkey. Our interesting question.
I think alternative is such a moving target. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's like classic rock. I hate that term. What the hell does that mean? It depends on when you say it, doesn't it? Right? It's not.
Well, again, depends. If we're gonna go to, we can turn this into a whole 3-hour conversation if we want to get into the full classification of things and starting with music, because classic as a term comes from the classical music period, which is a specific period of a certain time to another certain time. So classical music for someone to say that Beethoven is classical music is kind of correct, but not really, because he's the transition in the Romantic period. In the same way as classification as alternative, something as alternative comics stems from underground comics, which started as a movement in the 60s, started by people like R. Crumb, Harvey Pekar, Dennis Kitchen, etc. All these other people. Like that was a whole thing. And underground then became like a weirder term because underground
But
started becoming more popular.
Again, it depends on when you're saying it, right? Because if that property all of a sudden took off and became skybound, well, does that mean the original stuff is no longer? You see,
that depends on if you classify, and it's a personal classification. If you want to say independent comics is a genre, alternative comics is a genre, because alternative rock is now a genre when it started as just an alternative to whatever the main rock was.
Right. But I mean, it's kind of meaningless because it changes continuously, and it's.
Well, yeah. I mean, truthfully, if you want to get into like the biggest thing, like me and my friends always, we're stupid music snob nerds. So all we're going to do is talk about the classification of music. The only way to fully accurately classify music is by the time period it was created. To have zero, to objectively.
You mean just put a year on it and that's it? Just say.
Oh, well, like if you want to say, I like Guns N' Roses. I like bands like Guns N' Roses in the 80s. It's like, now that's a huge target because the Dead Kennedys is also in the 80s. So that's a huge, like if you want to look at that and be like,
and like what I've always said to people, I think I said this to you before, when people say the 60s in reference to music, they're not literally talking about 1961 to 1969. They're more like talking about 66, 65 through 74.
You're talking about the first 5 or 6 Dylan records. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah. And so when they say 60, it really is just a year thing. It overlaps a little into 7. Yeah.
No, but that's the only, if you want to truly be like, well, I mean, it's also crazy for someone to be like, I like 80s music. And then when they say they like 80s music, what do they mean? They probably mean they like hair metal type music or pop stuff.
They might mean they like Cure. It might mean
also, exactly. It could mean
they have transcended about 5 decades.
It could mean they love Black Flag.
Okay, this has become like a music thing.
It's turning into a food thing. And sorry, I warned you.
He's gonna go on forever.
I never saw Image as an indie company even in the 90s, but I did think of Fantagraphics because of their books weren't mainstream. Does indie equate to non-mainstream? No, I think the way. Let me say this, and you see, and tell me if I got it. I think the way Reed and Kristan define it. Indie means more like independently published, where the creator is involved.
There's a definition. Just saying.
Okay, where the creator actually is involved with the publication, or maybe does it all by himself, perhaps.
Well, I got to tell you, most of my Fantagraphics books are Disney.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So, can you call Fantagraphics an independent publisher?
Well, but Fantagraphics has gotten a lot larger and has more diverse than it was when it first began.
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember when Fantagraphics started.
Again, that's where I like when we get into that discussion, that's where I lean to where it's like, I don't know if any published thing could really be classified as independent, but it depends because also like I've got published books, but my published books are definitely independent. My publisher is definitely an independent publisher.
Right.
But you can also get my book at Barnes & Noble. That's not independent. Really,
terms really are just pointless, really, and why do we even worry about it so much?
Because we care and because it's a fun argument to have.
Also, it is just funny when you see someone being like, "Here's my favorite indie book," and it's an Archie comic or like Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
those. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like okay, again, we're talking in. Just a misunderstanding of what.
Yeah, Huck wanted to ask the Brave of the Boys which Archie was creator, owned, or indie. Yeah, I'd like to know about that too. And James got the link here for Reed's store.
Thanks, James.
So check that out.
Yeah, I got all sorts of stuff: posters, original art, books.
Let's come up with a word for the 3 to 5 big companies.
It's the big 5.
The big 5.
I say big 3 all the time though, because people are going to throw out Image.
Hayden says all the legends on one stream. Well, you got a mini version here, and then you get a larger version tonight on Banner Days.
That's true. Yeah, we're going to be on Banner Days. Big deal.
I showed the thumbnail.
Booster needs somebody to put out a ska book.
Okay, believe me,
Read.
Booster. I have been if I weren't already like waist deep in a project, I would be pitching a ska book right now.
Oh, speaking of Scott Reed,
Yes.
totally off topic, but while I got you here thinking about it, have you heard the original version of God dang it. Man, I hate when I do that. I got a total thought and it's gone.
I'm leaning in so hard right now.
Damn, I had it and now it's gone. Don't Speak. Have you heard the original version of Don't Speak that had the accordion in it? It's terrible. It sucks so much. It's on YouTube.
Are you trying to say no doubt's a ska band?
Oh well, that's a whole
conversation.
That's a whole nother episode.
Well, they were ska leaning at one point.
Oh, they absolutely. Adrian Young freaking wore a Madness shirt.
But it still made me think of that.
But anyway,
the original version they did of Don't Speak had an accordion in it, and it was terrible.
I don't know. That sounds kind of tight.
I was gonna say Reed's gonna love
it. I'll have to look you up. It's on YouTube, but oh my gosh, they improved it so much when they got rid of that.
Anyway, I would love to do a ska book. I adored the Pick It Up documentary, which if you haven't seen that, Booster,
Elon, which one?
It's called Pick It Up. It was an independent one. They like self-funded it. They kickstarted it, and then
independent.
Yeah, they kickstarted it, and it's got interviews with Christian Jacobs from the Aquabats and all the guys from Real Big Fish, and it talks about the boom of the '90s ska movement, and then what happened when it turned into this like thing for everyone to trash. It's very interesting. Tim Armstrong narrates it, which is the funniest thing ever, because why on the earth would you ever get somebody that's so hard to understand narrate a documentary like Tim Armstrong? But it is very fascinating. They talk a lot about like the traditional two-tone stuff and Hepcat, as well as the specials. It's just very, very interesting. It's very fascinating.
Well, when I think of ska, I go all the way back to Madness. That's what I think.
Well, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Madness is talked about. And like, I think when someone wants to tell me like ska traditionally, I'm going to think the specials or Madness or two-tone stuff. But, I got into ska by listening to Streetlight Manifesto and Real Big Fish and the Aquabats.
Hey, Elon, can you help him out? He missed something.
Elon, which poster?
Is it
maybe the vinyl films? It's the one we mentioned.
Yeah. Does it say sold out? I have some. The stuff gets really weird.
Barry says, how's this being debated? Well,
it's always a great argument. Like, because in the end it's gotta be like,
Oh, Mary's crazy.
I'm sorry, Mary.
She also can't stand music talk, so.
Yeah, Booster said he heard that Huff is Nate Garcia. Yeah, that was hotly debated once. I don't know why, but someone was very confused.
I think Huff is
I'm a little behind
David Letterman.
She's right here.
Yes. Hold on. I got a knock at the door.
Uh-oh.
Yes?
He's in trouble.
Are you saying yes to this, Dad?
I'd say yes to the door.
Oh, I thought you were saying yes to this comment. I was like, this is a joke.
I got to read my text. Hold on.
She's probably telling you to shut it down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. She's telling me it's time.
I joined in, and it's.
Well, let me get caught up on the chat real quick, and then we'll. No worries, Larry. This creator indie debate exists only within our little world, not to the general public. Yeah, they don't know anything. Mean. That's right. Elon says, you're into indie comics when you're added to the small press newsletter by default by your comic shop.
I would say you're into indie comics when you have to add half the books you read to Goodreads.
I do that a lot, and it's very annoying. That's true.
Gore says, reminds me of the old debate, is it rock and roll, punk, alternative, indie, new wave? It's all rock and roll. Yeah. If they do it right, it is. If they do it right.
To remember. That's all you got to think. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. That's perfect. See, that's what I need. I need a mnemonic model.
I said a walk to remember.
Yep.
Like that movie.
He's talking about this.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, I agree.
But see, here's the thing, Huff. You shouldn't. I disagree as far as comic books, because if you did that by creator, then what do you do if you've got every issue of Spider-Man? I don't, but what if you did? That's crazy. You would not. Yeah.
Well, I think,
if it's company owned, you got to do it by the character or the group or whatever. If it's a creator, if it's a company owned property that's done by many people,
it's tricky, and like that's a personal decision within your collection. Like I will just mention here,
absolutely.
like Kristan we have like a Jeff Lemire section because we have so many Lemire books. But what's not in the Lemire section? Animal Man, the Animal Man DC, like that's not in there. It's back here, and that's just one because it's just
same thing I've done here. I have a pretty sizable Lemire collection myself, but then I've got his Hawkeye thing is over there in my Marvel Hawkeye stuff.
Yeah, so that's personal choice. But yeah, it's every like we love to hear how you organize your books, and we love to judge it. And this is with peace and love judge.
Right. Gotcha. Mary says, I hear that, Gore, but I think this is different. We aren't talking style.
Again, that's the whole other argument, Mary. I agree. Let's
Best way to organize the library.
I'm out for that because mine is just destroying shelves.
We should do an episode on that.
We would.
I'm standing up. All right, I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, we gotta go through that. I'll see you, Reed.
See everybody on Saturdays. Bye.
Yep.
Hey, Reed.
Kristan, do you need to go organize my collection? I don't think you do.
I probably do need to organize some of it. That's probably true.
I don't know. You'll have to come and look. I think you'd probably be okay with most of the way I do it. Yeah, I was gonna mention Cerebus as far as a long-running, independently owned deal once, but yeah. Yeah, kind of went off the rails there, but that's okay. Here you go, Kristan.
I don't know that movie.
Wow. Huff has achieved his goal of opening a can of worms. Mary says classic rock is 100% legitimate. I don't know. I think it's
I agree with Mary 100%.
But isn't it a moving target? I mean, aren't there some songs that come out today that 20 years from now someone's going to say it's classic rock?
Does it matter then? Are you going to care in 20 years? You may. You may.
Mary says, I work at media. I am right. All right. I like 90s music. Yeah. So you like Brandy and Boyz II Men or Stone Temple Pilots? Right. It's me. You can't say it by year. That doesn't work either. Wow. I feel like Jess over here totally lost the chat. They're way ahead of me. No, I'm almost caught up. Fantagraphics has a handful of employees and it's run out of a house. Is that true? You have any idea, Kristan, if that's true?
Well, I wouldn't know, but he would.
Yeah. Well, Marcella, we're about done for the day, but hello. Miriam says, my brain might implode during this live stream. Elon's already has. So there's a fun argument. Some people take it as a great offense to question them. But yeah, I don't. Yeah. News pieces I like 80s and 90s video games. The good thing is that a 2020 game can look and feel just like an 80s and 90s. Yeah, totally can. And the same with music. I mean, the first album or so of Pale Waves was so 80s. I loved it. I mean, it had that 80s sort of synthesizer new waveness to it. And their third or fourth album, nothing like that, really.
I'll ask him.
Yeah. No doubt, sold out. No doubt was Scott until Brother Eric left the band. It's a great song.
I'll ask him that, Chris. That's actually something he could totally do. I'm not sure why he hasn't.
Yeah, if Reed would want to release all of his mini comics digitally.
I am writing it down, Chris.
Okay. News, please ask me, are you sure that version of Don't Speak wasn't just Weird Al riffing with the squeeze box? Yeah, I'm sure. I've seen the video. I didn't care for it. I mean, you can see the bones of the song are there. Most of the lyrics are all worked out and everything, but Moose Green says, yep, Pick It Up was fantastic. And he's talking some kind of ska fest. Gore says, Independent was initially used by comic readers who wanted to be known they didn't read Marvel and DC books, and those readers used it in turn to say they didn't read non-DC books. It means what you want it to mean, I guess.
It's still never going to mean Archie.
No, I don't think anyone can.
Therein lies the problem, right?
Right. Gore says, this conversation is something new, but again, for the general comic book reader, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun to talk about. Reading to talk about it all the time.
Huff might be the only person I can think of, at least immediately, that has successfully changed his name, and we all still know who he is.
That was a good one. Booster,
I'm
I
not too familiar with
assume. What?
Yeah. I don't think I'm familiar with them, but I've heard of them, but I don't know the music.
The Aquabats?
Yeah, I can't think of one of their songs. I know of the band, but
okay, but he's referencing the comic Reed made.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a copy of that?
I don't think I have that one.
Yeah, you missed out.
Yeah.
You could be Tedward. That's funny.
Rick Ray says, I organize my shelves by vibes. My vibe is sheer chaos, though.
That's what Reed does, Rick.
I was going to say that sounds like what Reed wants to do. News piece as a reminder, I try to remember to check for remainders on my Rick Remender books. Did I get it all? I think I got it. This Town BBC One SCADA program was filmed by me. A must see. Wow, Marvel back.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. Huff says his books are completely disorganized. A publisher has to fit through the eye of a needle to be indie. Huff with the biblical reference. Awesome. Well, that's the second one today. He said 6,000 years old and did that.
Was it that loud? This mic just picks up things I don't know it picks up.
Well, I think that was reference to your pen love also. So
yeah, probably a fountain pen.
Gore says locally, classic rock radio stations play the same Boston, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, CCR, Cars, Pat Benatar. You get the idea of music.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
But they'll also sprinkle in stuff from 20 years later. That news pieces. I spent a week trying to reorganize much of my book collection. Ended up aggravating the tendonitis in my shoulder even further. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. Huff says he has a very distinctive style, and usually it's all in uppercase. Well, I think we better get out of here, don't you think, Kristan?
Yeah, I do want to say that Reed and I are releasing a big announcement video today, sometime after this. So, I don't know, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't and get notified.
Yeah, Elon says, can you tell if it was a medium fine or fine nib by the sound? Mary says, it's the radio format, the classic rock reference. Yeah. Okay. And again, there is the email address. You want to hit up Reed to see what Omnis or other books Kristan is selling. You can check that out there. And you can find Kristan at the Comic Slayer on Instagram and on YouTube. So subscribe to her if you haven't already.
I feel like you're going to want to see that video, everybody. So,
yeah.
How stoked? What's the announcement? I don't know.
Kristan's got
Could it involve a Reed
video.
book? Could it involve something else? Maybe.
Could it involve two different things that are new?
Perhaps.
I hope so. I hope so. And I don't know. She has not revealed it to me either, but I have high hopes. So Huff says, oh my God, what's the announcement? I wanted her to make one of her announcements on here, but she's like, I'm not doing that on your channel.
Absolutely not.
And Elon says, take care, everyone. Yeah. Thanks everybody for showing up in the chat. This was fun, right? I think we had a good episode. We're a little over time though. And Kristan's got a lot to do today. So check out her special video later. and then check her and Reed and Mary M on Jess's show on Batter Days tonight. And I'll be in the chat, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.